All right, that is the kiosk economics, and one actually of the sectors that is expected to benefit from this hustler fund arrangement. Credit between 500 to 50,000, 8% interest. It's been capped right there to make it more affordable. Question is, how convenient it is for small businesses and micro businesses in the country? And joining me for this discussion is Dr. David Kabata, who is an economist and is very passionate. Actually, is an SME specialist. Dr. Kabata, welcome to the show. Looking at the Hustler Fund, what came from Cabinet and the parameters that they have set so far, how are you assessing that?
Thank you very much, Keboy. I think it is not actually being called Hustler Fund. Right now, you are calling it the Financial Inclusion Fund. And because it is called Financial Inclusion Fund, then it means that we actually have even increased the number of the people to access it, because everybody wants to be included in finance, especially when you're dealing with finance. And therefore, one of the challenges I think we will have, especially when it comes to the Hustler Fund, is demystifying who is a hustler and who is not a hustler. Because, Keboy, I'm also a hustler, and I would want somebody to actually come up with a way to show that I'm also not a hustler, and I should not also get the money. So those are some of the challenges that are there. Who is a hustler? That is the first question that they need to demystify. And I think also we needed, first of all, to learn about the challenges with the others, the Youth Fund, the Wezo Fund, and also the Women Fund. The loopholes that were there, and why is it that even after being there for more than 15 years, 10 to 15 years, we still do not have what we call tangible impact from them. I think those are some of the things that we needed to do, so that even when we are bringing in this Financial Inclusion Fund or the Hustler Fund, then we can be able to see those loopholes and see whether they can be able to also help us to actually solve the problem of unemployment in this country. And
looking at that particular, the amount between 500 and 50,000. Now, a lot of people dismiss, they say, I mean, who needs 500 shillings to start a business? What might be the logic of that range?
You know, Noah, the most important thing in a business is an idea. And actually, that is one of the reasons as to why I have also a problem with it, because the question that I'm asking myself, do these young people really have ideas that need to be funded within that amount of money so that they can be able to actually grow those ideas? Because for me, I believe that even with 500 shillings, if you have a good idea, you can start from there. And you grow the idea slowly and slowly and slowly and make it a big idea. Everything in this world was started as an idea. And there were cheap ideas, simple ideas that were grown to what they are. So the issue of money is not actually the problem. The problem is, do we have ideas that can help us to actually fund and grow? Ideas that are sustainable. I think that is the question that we need to be asking.
Are we looking at the recent, because when you talk about credit, it comes hand in hand with the promise that the government actually made during the campaign season to deal with the issue of CRB and access to credit. Now there's this framework that has been rolled out, the credit repair framework by the Central Bank of Kenya, to help people get off CRB and to be able to access such facilities as these funds. Are we risking, might we risk seeing a lot of non-performing loans pile up if it's not approached carefully, this Hustler Fund situation?
Actually, one of the reasons as to why the central bank did what they did is because of the piling up of the default rate of the loans in this country. And you know, what usually happens in the banking industry is that there is that level that there's that level that the default rate is not supposed to actually go higher than that. And I think even doing away with some of that money, the half of that money, was that the banks would recoup their principal but maybe do away with some of those interests that they had charged. Now the issue is, who is going to give you money if you are already blacklisted as a defaulter? And I think that is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Even when we are delisting these people, I don't see any institution that can give you money if you have actually defaulted there before, because it means that you are going back to the same situation. I will tell you the truth. Most of these young people who defaulted because they did not want to pay. There are so many other people who actually also had the same problems as these other youth, and they paid. They've been getting that money, doing business and paying. So the issue is, we have delisted them so that they can be able to get the hustler fund. But the question is, you as a financial institution that is supposed to lend money to people, can you lend money to somebody who has had a problem of defaulting there before?
But, I mean, Dr. thinking about some of the ramifications of defaulting and not paying, when you take this hustler fund money, is one of them. I think you can face jail time if I'm not wrong, if you're not careful. Just looking at the guardrails that they have put to make sure there are no default cases, do you think those can prevent the problem that we've seen with defaulting?
No, I can guarantee you that either we are not going to have these people getting the money, or you are going to jail everybody in this country, because with the kind of the default rate that has been there, especially if they are going to use what we refer to as the mobile loans, I don't see many of these young people paying that money. Remember, I've said there's something that I started by saying. Every business starts with an idea. If you do not have an idea that can be able to be funded and be sustainable, it does not matter how much money you have. Whether a million or billion shillings, that money will go to the drain. Now, the question is, if these young people go and start businesses and they fail, are you going to jail them? And these are some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves, and also try to come up with a structure that can help our people to actually create employment in this country. And for me, Noah, I can say that if you want that money to be beneficial, give to people who already have business, more businesses, and then give them performance indicators of what you want to get from them. They will grow the idea. Or try to look at young people who have startup ideas, grow those startup ideas, or try to see whether they are ideas that can be grown. Look at the viability of the idea, then fund them using a venture capital fund. In fact, you can have a venture capital fund inside that hustler fund or the financial inclusion fund for startups. But any other way of just looking for people, getting them wherever they are and giving them money is a waste of time.
Oh, it's a waste of time getting them where they are, because, you know, question is now, especially looking at the economic outlook that we are seeing for the coming year, it's predicted, I've seen with the World Bank, IMF, there's a likelihood of a global recession coming 2023. Question is, in this economic downturn environment, creating this opportunity and this funds channel, will it sort of give Kenyans a soft landing, especially the hustler, as the president puts it, starting from the bottom, coming up?
No, the good thing is that even when you're talking about the recession, we here in Africa are usually able to actually circumvent some of those challenges. And most of our businesses are catered to, are actually driven by our basic needs, food, shelter, and also clothing. And I think because of that, if somebody has a good idea, especially in food, in agriculture, and we have a problem with food security in this country, a simple idea, remember I'm talking about a simple idea, not complicated ideas. Complicated ideas don't work. A simple idea in agriculture, and you get even 50,000 or 30,000, you still can be able to start something. Noah, some of these mama bogas you see here, they usually borrow money in the morning from some of these mobile systems. and they referred it in the evening, having made something from it. So it is possible, but the question is, do these young people have ideas that can be able to be sustained and also grow, ideas that can be able to grow? Having a recession is one of the best things, because it means that there's a problem globally, and therefore there's something that needed to, there are solutions that needed to come to be gotten, and therefore that is not a problem. Remember, as I have said, the biggest problem we have here in Africa is food, is shelter, and also part of clothing. The simple things. If you come up with a business that deals with those, it doesn't matter the timing, you will still make something from it.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. David Kabata. But he tells me, you know, he pronounces it as Dr. Kafata. Yeah. Thank you very much for your input in regards to matters Hustler Fund. But even before we take a break, Joshua Oigara officially appointed CEO of Stanbic Kenya and South Sudan. This after the chief executive, Charles Mudiwa, actually is retired, and Oigara now joins Stanbic. That is matters banking in the country. We'll take a short break right here in Business Today. We'll come back with more. Stay tuned.